Hi, welcome to my casa. I'm Whitney Reynolds. I host and own the Whitney Reynolds Show on PBS. If you are listening in from Chicago, make sure to turn those TVs on every Monday night at 6:30 as we tackle tough topics and inspirational stories, one 30-minute episode at a time. So I am beyond excited to be a part of the BeHealthful retreat coming up. And I wanted to share some advice. The girls sent over these cute little questions, and I'm excited to dive right in and hopefully help you understand a little bit more about me and my business and how you can truly live the life of your dreams. So what steps did I take to start my talk show? Well, I was one of those 7-year-old crazy Oklahoma kids that knew I was going to be a talk show host from almost day one. So for me, it was all about getting there and how to do that. So instead of wasting any time, in high school, I anchored a newscast. In college, I graduated in 3 years to move to New York. And then while I was in college and right before that graduation, I worked for morning show giant Good Morning America. And I feel like I was always constantly in this mode of soak in as much as I can, meet as many people as you can, because I might have the Reynolds last name, but Bert's not my uncle. So it was all about making these connections to get to the end all goal. So now I stand here at 29 years old. I'm not quite 30 yet. And I kind of look back at these points in my life and think, wow, how did I get here? And it really wasn't, it was, even if they're really slow steps, there were seasons of my life that I was not happy. But it was always pushing forward to eventually get me to where I am now. So that is kind of how I got here, following that true passion and then living it out daily. Even when it's hard and it doesn't seem like you're going anywhere, make the calls, pick up the phone, do the networking. It will pay off. So my next question is, what does it take to be in broadcasting? Well, I would say you can't be shy. You definitely need to talk, but you also need to know the trade, and there's a lot of ins and outs. At the end of the day, I can pick up a camera, I can edit, and talk on TV. I think you have to be a jack of all trades in the day and age we live in. Okay, what obstacles have you come across with your brand, and how did you overcome them? I think one of my biggest obstacles is my own self. I want to have arrived yesterday, and I think that goes back to the point I was talking about earlier, is you have to appreciate these steps. Each day, know that you're moving forward. But even in the slow steps, it's hard for me because I want to be there. I want to say, yes, I'm able to employ thousands of people and make a difference in every network. But really, how many people are you impacting in your own network? How many people are you currently hiring? How many people get to see your show right now? And I think that's what you have to focus on, is these little bitty things. I mean, sometimes you do hear of overnight successes, but in my case, it has been steady Eddie progress. Okay, if you could give yourself advice when you were starting out in your career, what would it be? Well, I would say advice to myself is I will have everything I want in life. And what I mean by that is, when I moved to Chicago, I moved here by chance. I moved here and was very lonely. I moved here and never thought that I would have stand where I am now with a talk show in multiple markets on a main network on a Monday night evening time slot. And then the cherry on top for me was meeting my husband here, because I went to a coffee shop, and just when I thought I was too busy for men, he hooked in my computer cord. And I have to say that God truly has fulfilled everything I've ever hoped and wished for, and I know has just constantly been along my side in the journey. So that's what I wish I could tell my younger self, is everything is going to work out. You will have everything you want in life, and not every day is going to be easy, but every day that we're alive is a huge blessing. So, okay, what are 5 ways that you stay productive and on track with your goals throughout the week? I think if you were to ask people in my life, they would say I could be a lot more productive in other ways. But I think I would say a couple of the top things is I have deadlines that have to be met. In order to be growing and in order to keep pushing forward, you have to have things that are hitting timelines. And for us, with us being a post-produced show, we have, we might be taping right now, but it won't air till the fall, but we're airing what tape in the last fall. And so kind of working through my calendar and staying on schedule is key for me. So deadlines are really important. I would also say surrounding yourself with positive people. Now, I'm not talking about people that are just going to pat you on the back and say, good job. But at the end of the day, being around people that encourage you, that bring life into your life. When you're around grumps, sometimes you take on their grumpiness. And I would really recommend surrounding yourself, especially after hours, with people that are very uplifting across the board. So how do you maintain a balanced babe lifestyle? And I love that babe's in that question, because love that word. I'm a product of the 80s, and babe and Saved by the Bell were all around whenever I was growing up. But I guess how I stay a balanced babe is balance is everything, and even brand is everything. So balance is everything, brand is everything. How do you do that? Because people tend to say you're going to have an off switch. Well, for me, there is no off switch. If I'm going to be a positive person, I'm going to be a positive person everywhere I go. If I'm going to listen on my show and try to change lives on my show, I'm going to do that in my daily life. So I have learned that the bigger I've grown, the less I need to necessarily tell people, oh my gosh, this is what I do, this is when to watch, this is da-da-da. But what I've learned is when you are your brand, you demand attention. You demand people wanting to know, oh, who are you? What do you do? Why are you such a good listener? Or why are you so kind to people? How did you know about that issue? And those are things, I think, where your brand can become your lifestyle. And then also balance is all part of it. So if I'm ever tired, I'm going to nap. Sometimes not during the day, of course, but I'm going to make sure that I get enough sleep. And that's what I think is part of it. Also, keeping that, I mean, my husband's really good about, I feel like sometimes we live our life so online. We're always constantly like, da-da-da-da, I'm tweeting, I'm Facebooking, I'm Snapchatting. I've never, what is that one that all of y'all probably do? Timber? No. Whatever the one is, I've never done the one that's like the really fast dating app. But other than that, I tend to be on social media a lot, and I like to handle my own brand. I do have people that do help me out from time to time. But for the most part, I like to be in there because only I can really be myself. And with that, my husband's reminded me that there is a component to being there and being live in the moment and appreciating where we are. So anyways, with all that, I hope these little nuggets have inspired you to be the best you. And then also come see me at the Be Healthful retreat. I'm really excited to be there, and I must add that I will have a jewelry booth set up there on top of having a talk show and a radio segment and all this other fun stuff. My husband and I bought a jewelry line, and we love for women to look fashionable and not break the bank, so make sure to come over and see me. And of course, for more information on my talk show, you can always visit me 24/7 hours a day on WhitneyReynolds.com. Okay, thanks guys for tuning in. I'll see you soon.